Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today we're going to be talking about XPeng stock. Before I start the video, guys, please make sure to leave a like on the video below. Subscribe to the channel for more awesome content. Join the family, guys. Let's go on our investor journey together. So today we're going to be talking about XPeng stock. And if you guys don't know what XPeng stock actually does, right? It's another EV company. It's based out of China. And this one has actually been getting a lot of heat recently. XPeng has kind of been on the climb, but I feel like it's a more slept on EV stock. Now, I'm not saying XPeng in itself isn't doing a great job of expanding and stuff like that, but I feel like this one is a little bit more under the radar. XPeng, founded about 4 years ago, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And looking at the 5-year chart, guys, this thing just IPO'd August 26th of 2020, currently up 48%. Looking at the 1-year chart, it's the same. 3-year chart up 48%, and up the 1-month chart, it's up 73%. Now, you guys have to understand that XPeng, being another EV company, the whole EV market in itself has been blowing up like crazy. It's been getting a lot more attention from investors, and XPeng stock is one that's actually been climbing up. Now, if you guys don't know, XPeng also produces EV cars, right? They have 2 cars currently made right now. It's the P7 and the G3. P7 is a Tesla Model 3 rival, and the G3 is basically an SUV. Now, it's going to lead the question, guys, is XPeng a buy at $34.26? Where's XPeng stock headed in the next couple of years? Do you see XPeng stock being a top EV company? Now, right now, it's currently sitting at $34.21, and I'm going to say this, guys, but take it with a grain of salt. I feel like XPeng stock is actually very undervalued, and here's why I say this. XPeng stock in itself has been growing up like crazy, guys. If you guys don't know, their Q3 sales were up 266% in September alone, which is absolutely amazing. They basically delivered 3,478 vehicles. And it's up 31% from August, so that's also really good. And like I said, guys, their P7 and G3 vehicles are absolutely beautiful. I took a look at the P7, and it's really up to date. It looks great. I think what XPeng actually needs to work on is basically expanding itself, and basically getting the same road as Tesla and NIO as far as the expansion part goes. But you guys have to understand that XPeng also has a lot of big time investors, and it has a lot of experienced people. I know that Alibaba and a bunch of other companies are invested in XPeng, and they also have a few board of directors from those companies that are currently with XPeng as well. So it makes XPeng an appetizing buy. Right now, like I said, with XPeng's growing sales and the fact that it continues to deliver more and more vehicles, like I said, it's growing slowly, but I don't feel like it's worth $34.18, guys. I think XPeng, to me, is worth about $50 a share. Like I said, this one is just a more slept on one. It's not as global, and it doesn't get as much attention as like NIO does and like Tesla and all these other companies. But like I said, guys, in October alone, it's up 229% from a year ago, which is absolutely amazing. It means that the company is growing, right? So when you guys are looking at a company, yes, although it may not be doing as great as other EV companies, the big thing you want to look for when you're investing in a company is growth, right? You guys have to take in consideration that XPeng is basically growing like crazy. Its delivery percentages are up a lot from last year, so it goes to show that XPeng as a stock is also getting noticed. And like I said, if it continues this path of trajectory and it continues to grow more and more every single day, I think XPeng stock is obviously worth a buy. Obviously, everything I say in my videos, guys, is not financial advice. It's just my personal opinion. But the reason why I think XPeng stock is a buy at $34 is because, like I said, I feel like XPeng stock is very undervalued for the kind of growth that they're having, for the kind of vehicles that they're delivering. And like I said, experiencing that much growth, basically up over 100% growth on both their vehicles since last year, it goes to show that the company is expanding, right? So when you guys are looking or investing in a stock, you want to see, okay, is the company making money? Is the company at least expanding and growing? XPeng is doing that, right? Like I said, if you look at their delivery numbers, they're absolutely phenomenal. A lot of big time investors behind XPeng. And like I said, their vehicles are absolutely gorgeous. XPeng being another EV company, you guys always have to assess the risk, right? It's an EV startup. Right? A lot of EV startups are risky, and there's a lot more that are starting to IPO. So it makes people wonder, what should I invest in, right? So for me, I always tell people, invest in the company you believe in. Never invest in a company that you don't believe in what they're doing. Like I said, for me, I'm very, very bullish on the whole EV industry just due to the simple fact that it's growing like crazy. There's a lot of big time investors, but looking at it from a longer term perspective, guys, think about where the EV industry is going to be in the next 5 to 10 years. Of course, advancement in technology, bigger and better batteries. These cars are getting popular, and I'm not just saying with XPeng stock in general, I'm saying all across the board that EV cars are getting more popular. And like I said, XPeng, it's already showing that in itself. The fact that their delivery numbers are up so much since last year. Their Q3 report earnings were absolutely amazing, and it goes to show that, okay, like XPeng is going to be a top competitor as an EV stock, and that's something you always have to take in consideration. Looking at it from a vast perspective, there's a lot of EV companies out there. So competition is going to be tight, but I think XPeng does stand a good chance. Like I said, based out of China as well. All they need to do is start expanding and start delivering more vehicles. It's growing slowly, and I do think XPeng stock is worth a buy, guys. I think XPeng stock is doing a great job for itself. XPeng as a company, like I said, it has a lot of big-time investors behind its name. It's got a lot of good guidance. Keep the brand name clean. But XPeng stock, in my opinion, a lot of people are starting to notice this company. A lot of people are even saying it's going to be better than NIO. Who knows? Only time is going to tell. Like I said, I'm super bullish on NIO as well, but XPeng stock, in my opinion, guys, is worth a buy. I think XPeng stock is a good investment just because of the long-term perspective. If it keeps growing in the way that it's been growing, then XPeng stock could be a $50 stock in absolutely no time. With that being said, guys, that's all I really have to say about the video. Let me know down in the comment section below, guys, what you think of XPeng stock. Do you think XPeng stock is worth the investment? Do you guys think XPeng stock is going to grow as big as NIO? If you guys own XPeng stock, I'm always curious to know how many shares you guys own and what's your average. With that being said, guys, thank you. Have a great day.